Hello again. Let's see, I'll give you the date. It is Saturday, July 30th. And I promise you, this is my last video. Um, I will be exiting out of life tomorrow, which is Sunday, July 31st, at approximately 6 p.m. The reason being is I no longer have cable and or Wi-Fi connection, so I need to go to Starbucks to send out my final suicide video, email to my friends and family, and it will. It's just gonna happen then. And so if someone gets it and actually acts on it and thinks they might be able to help, they might actually call the property management company, which means on Sunday they won't get them. And then might call the police, which might take a couple hours. So, I bought myself 2 to 3 hours if someone acts in order to finalize my existence. And I'm doing it with a hose to the, into my car. And PD and I will hopefully painlessly slip away. So Susan, I wasn't extorting money. It was a promise. I promise you. Anyway, she'll never listen to these, so it doesn't matter. It's just thoughts keep coming into my head of that she got her money. That's all she wanted. She didn't have to do it with any effort except being really shitty and mean on the phone to my dad. But anyway, and that'll be one of the best parts of being dead, is I can get the voices of my family out of my head. So obviously I have been isolated and by myself for many months. And so things go on in your head. It's like every thought I have a voice in my head of one of my family members. And it's like, so is that fair? I don't know. But getting those voices gone will be wonderful. And then, but in contrast to that, I've had a therapist, Brendan, who has been wonderful. I mean, he's the only one that's known I've been going through problems. He repeatedly, at least once every week to 10 days, will email me to try to get me back in for therapy. I mean, it's touched me to tears that he cares. But, that's my responsibility. I mean, if no one's showing up to care, maybe I haven't been someone to show up to care about. And, I take that full responsibility, with the exception of my family. I mean, my family, I stepped up for them, and they threw me into the bus, and they shit on my face, all of them. I've tried over the last 10 weeks to try to find a room in my heart to forgive, and I just can't. Maybe if I lived to be 100, I could, but not today. I just, there's moments when I think I could get there, and then I just remember what they're like, and it's, nope. I need to tell you, I am feeling wonderful today. I am feeling wonderful. I haven't felt better in years. It had been a fear of mine early on that if I felt better at the time of my suicide, I would then be full of regret. So I wanted to stay feeling really bad, but I didn't. I have just felt better and better and better and better over the last 10 weeks. And I do. I feel like, yes, I could go out and get a humiliating job. Yes, I could deal with my dad's cruelty as trying to come back as an adult. And still, strangely, I still feel like I failed my father. I mean, after all everything I've mouthed off on those videos, I still feel like the one I failed my father, and I'll be glad to be dead. I won't have to deal with that man again. Not that I ever would. But I'm feeling wonderful. Petey and I are going for, in the evenings, beautiful evenings, for like 3 mile walks through Laura. I mean, there are beautiful areas here. Who knew? And I, reflect back that, I was in really a dark place for many months, and laid there in a fetal position watching TV for 20 hours a day in the dark. So, thinking it was okay. Now, the funny part is, I thought I was okay, and I wasn't. I just wasn't. And one would say I probably wasn't in the best mental state of mind to make a decision about dying when my money ran out when I made the decision. But I made that decision, and I am here to say, I'm here to say I have to live up to it now. I put too many hurdles in the way, being evicted, being arrested, my credit rating's at 300, on and on and on. And, there's no getting out of it now, so I'm okay with the decision. I want to live, I don't want to die, but as my dad would say, you lazy good-for-nothing parasite on me, man up and kill yourself. At least that's the voice I hear in my head of my dad. And remember, I have 2,000 hours of dealing with this man, so I have a little idea how he thinks of me. And again, that's something I'll never know, is why his hatred of me goes so deep. And I mean, I knew he didn't love me. I didn't know he didn't like me. I've known that since 10. I didn't know how deep his hatred of me went. And it can't be about me. He never knew me. He never asked a question about me, or if he did, I never answered it. Because I just didn't want the argument that would come with that when he didn't approve of whatever that I said. But, he, in his mind, I mean, I was his enemy. My dad's not one to have enemies. I mean, he was everyone's friend, except my mom, my sister, and me. And my sister is sucking up to him now for the money, and she has someone in her life she can hate and kick around, and that's me. I still can't get that in my head around it. Like, I'm the one showing up and doing all the work, and they're all talking shitty about me behind my back. They get the money for doing nothing, and I get kicked out of the trust. And it may sound like I'm focusing on the money, but it's the principle, not the money. So it was just the principle. But enough said of that. I have hours in there of talking about that. I just need to, I've got like 2 minutes. I want to just say one thing. I'd actually planned to execute my suicide a week ago, last Tuesday. And my car is in a underground secure parking facility. And I'd already had everything hooked up, the garden hose, everything from the night before. So I have a backpack full of things that I want handed off to my therapist, Brendan, as a thank you. So, and I have a note taped on the backpack, and I get, my head's around this. I'm at peace with it. We go down to I get Petey, we go down to the parking garage, and I put her in the car with the backpack in. I get in, I turn the key, and nothing. I get out, open the hood. Someone in the last 12 hours has stolen my car battery. I mean, what do you do? I mean, within 45 minutes, I'm supposed to be dead. I think I must have stood there for 5 minutes just looking, thinking the battery is going to appear. Oh my God, how funny is that? That is so much my reflection on God. That if he's up there, he gets, just like my father, a lot of extreme pleasure and probably humor making me suffer. Now, one would say, I'm sure Christians, well, look, God's trying to tell you not to kill yourself. Well, that's fine, just like the first time. Well, maybe that's the case. But if you don't show how you're going to support me, like maybe winning the lottery so I can get out of my jam, then taking the car battery just adds one more layer of, how do I work life out? So I go up, and what I usually do is, if I'm too stressed out anymore, I just take a nap. So then maybe an hour later, I get up, I'm like, well, what are my options? I don't have a gun. I have no pills or drugs or fentanyl or anything that's going to take me out the easy way. That leaves me what? Putting a plastic bag over my head. And I can't do that because that's, I just can't imagine suffocating to death. I mean, that'd be claustrophobic and horrible. I mean, I just wanted this all to be easy. So it leaves me hanging myself and slitting my wrists. And I can't imagine slitting my wrists. I just can't. It's just too painful. So then there's a couple big pipes running through my loft. And I thought, okay, so I have a sheet. I have no rope. So I have a sheet, rip it up, make it into a noose. And inside I'm like, I don't want to suffer. I don't mind dying. I just don't want to suffer. I really, really, really don't want to suffer. And I think, you're going to be a minute or two hanging there knowing you're going to die. Blah. So I get the bright idea of going out onto my balcony. I'm on the second story of the apartments. And, that's what I'm going to do. I get enough length. And if I stand on the top rail, I can jump off. It's about 12 feet. It should snap my neck. But again, it should. If it doesn't, what do I do? If it doesn't kill me right off, what do I do? And that's suffering again. And I can't get my head around suffering. So, what was it? What's today, Saturday? Was it Thursday night? Maybe it was Thursday night. I get the great idea. I'm going to go down and steal a battery back. And I did. At 3 a.m, I found a car open and I stole a battery. Of course, did it fit in my car? No. So I had to jerry rig it in there so it would fit. Because in the end, I'm going to, I just want to drift off to Never Never Land. And I will leave a note saying where I stole the battery from, and hopefully that will help. So anyway, I just had to get that story out. That's just such a story. My life has been exactly like that. But again, I'm leaving this world in a tremendously wonderful mood. I'm not on medication. I felt better than I have in years. And, I am sad. I don't want to die. I think life is beautiful. I'm 64. Yeah, I'm tired of working. But I would have taken a humiliating job. Absolutely. Within reason. Had my dad given me the money in March, again, that was 3% of his savings. 3% to help me save my life. And I explained it to him. I know I've said this. I explained it to him. If I don't get the money, my option is to kill myself. And he's just like, go get a job. So it had crossed my mind of calling him again. But, he's again, one of the happiest days in his life would see me arrested. That's just who my dad is. My dad hates me. I don't know why. And I did ask my dad 9 times for help between March 1st and March 16th. And there's just no point after that, Even if he died and my brother and sister became nice and gave me my part of the trust, I still don't think, once evicted, it's on your record. I didn't know there was a, rental record. you can't rent. No one's going to rent to you for 10 years. So, I pretty much made my bed. Now I've got to lay in it. Anyway, that's it. So, as I said in the email, I hope you all have really wonderful lives. I hope everything goes wonderfully. And if you think of me, I hope it's for the best, right? Not. I didn't become a loser. I mean, I know in a lot of your eyes I have, but I've just never felt like that in my heart. I just succumbed to mental illness for a while, a couple of times, but I've had a good life. I mean, it's had its ups, it's had its downs, but mostly I have known wonderful people. I really have. I've known really wonderful people. And, up until 10 years ago, I really enjoyed my family, even my father, because we talked 10 or 15 minutes on Sundays, and that was it. But, getting to know who the people they are, they have tortured me in my head, basically because they broke my heart. I mean, again, my dad hates me. I don't know what's that about. My brother, I held him up in the highest esteem, only to find out who he really is. That's exactly like my dad. Anyone who knew my dad, he was the nicest guy in the world. Well, except to me and my mom and my sister. Brother he loved. My sister's always been my sister. It's just, I didn't think she would turn her cruel, bitchy, hateful attitude towards me and use me as the punching bag. But again, so anyway, this is ending it. Goodbye. Good luck. Take care. Hug your children. And have a great life.